Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Amer Zaher.
Much better, Sharif. Thank you. All right, good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me in the back? Yes? Way in the back, can you hear me? Okay, good. Over here, yes? Okay. Thank you. Thank you to all you people. Thank you, Farouk. When are you running for president? Seriously. Soon? Okay, good. We have to lose the accent, but other than that, we will go for you. I know, you can't help yourself. Thank you. I always love showing people about our culture. People think that they only see us on the news. They think there's something wrong with us. And there is. But not the things they think. I travel all around the country. I'm very happy to be in Texas. This is like my third time in Texas. I'm happy to be here. I live in Michigan. I live in Dearborn. You know Dearborn, right? Like that's the Arab Disneyland in Dearborn. Everything's there. And I love coming here. It's weird. It's really weird though. For my job, I get to do shows everywhere. I've done shows, in all in the Arab countries and Canada, and I go around America. And I come to the South. It's very weird. I've been to Texas now 3 times, and I never knew there's so many Arabs in the South. It's weird, because they don't like us very much down here. And I did a show in Louisiana. I went into a room, 500 Palestinians in a room in Louisiana. I said, "What are you doing here?" And then some Arab guy came up, he explained to me, it made perfect sense. He says, "Well, first of all, Amer, the weather is great all the time, just like back home. You can have a gun whenever you want. And you can marry your cousin, no big deal." But I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up in Michigan. Michigan has all these Arabs. I didn't grow up there. I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I grew up around all white people. And we were Palestinians. We were very good Palestinians. Okay, for those of you who don't know, for the Lebanese people here, I don't know. We Palestinians, we are professional protesters. We're very good at protesting. We protest all the time. In fact, I used to remember sometimes we would wake up at 7 a.m. and at 10 a.m. we were in New York City and we were protesting. And we Palestinians, we don't care if it rhymes or it doesn't rhyme. We just protest like 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want your war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Get out of Palestine. We don't give a shit, we just do it. And we were real Palestinians. And I always knew that I was best friend lived across the street. See, everybody who grew up around me was white. I was the darkest person in my whole school. And my best friend who lived across the street from me, his name was Tommy. He was this little white kid. We hung out with each other all the time. He was my best friend. But I knew we were different. Like, his mom was different. His mom was different. His mom would let him do stuff that my mom would never let us do. Where's the Arab moms? What is wrong with you? Oh my God. What is wrong with you Arab moms? You hate sleepover. Oh my God. She never let me sleep over anywhere. Mom, can I sleep over at Tommy's house? What is wrong with our house? Sleep here. Get all your friends and come and sleep here. I hated it. And I always knew that we were a little different. But I never really knew how much until one year, it was Christmas time, and Tommy's mom took me and Tommy to the mall to go see Santa Claus. And we waited in line for an hour. And finally it was our turn, and Tommy sat on Santa Claus's lap, and Santa said to him, "What do you want for Christmas, little boy?" And Tommy said, "Let me have a bike." And Santa said, "No problem." And then it was my turn. And that's when I knew I was a little different. Because I sat on Santa Claus's lap. And Santa said to me, "What do you want for Christmas, little boy?" And I looked at him with my little Palestinian eyes and I said,
enforcement of UN Resolution 242. No, we have messed up dreams. You ask a little white kid, what do you want to be? Policeman, fireman, doctor. Ask a little Palestinian kid, what do you want to be? Free. Just free. And I have my dad, a real Palestinian dad. True. Starts every sentence the same way. In 1948. Now, for those of you who don't know, Debbie, that's when everything started for us. 1948. We tell stories about it all the time. 1948. Even when I brought my friend over, I said, Baba, this is my friend Mike. Hi, Mike, how are you in 1948? And my dad grew up in a refugee camp. He never had anything when he was growing up. And we were spoiled little American kids. We had stuff all the time. And we would lose our stuff. And my dad, he didn't understand that. He didn't understand how you could lose anything, because he never had anything. He didn't lose anything. He couldn't understand how we would lose stuff. I remember one time I lost my little truck. I said, Baba, I lost my truck. He said, where was the last place? Debbie, this is also where. 2 hands, you're dancing, 1 hand, where? He said, where was the last place? I said, right there. Then he always said the same thing. He said, so it used to be there, right? I said, yeah. And he said, and now it's just gone? I said, yeah. He'd always say the same thing. He said, well, then I guess we should call the news. I said, why, Baba? He said, we should call the news because I think the news would be very interested to know that a little truck can just get up and walk away. Even when I got older, I could never tell my father anything. I said, Baba, my girlfriend dumped me. Well, she used to be there, right? And now she's just gone? Call the news. We were different. And I grew up around all these white people. I just finished making a documentary movie called We're Not White. And let me explain it. Debbie, I know that sounds weird. We're not white. But let me explain it to you, okay? I don't know if you guys remember, Farouk was talking about voting. We should all vote and participate. And we also get the census form every few years. You know the census form, right? You guys get it here in America. Every 10 years they do the census form. And everybody has a box on the census form. But Arabs, we don't have a box. And I got the census form, and I really wanted to, because I wanted to be counted. I wanted my government to count me, and there was nothing for me. There was a box that said black. I almost checked the black box because Arabs were just like black people. We're the same. We get profiled. We get blamed for stuff that we don't do. We scare the hell out of white people. We have like big families and lots of cousins and Sunday dinner. We do that, right? Like the way you know you're one of us is if your family is so big that you're older than your uncle. You know, if you ever took your uncle to Chuck E. Cheese, you're one of us. But I didn't check that box. And there's boxes that say Filipino, Japanese, Korean, Guam, Samoa, Fiji, Pakistan, Cambodia. And nothing for us. They have a box that says other. Other. They don't even say other, it says some other race. Kind of like whatever. And you can check the some other race box and type and write in your country, Arab country, Palestine, Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, Iraq, Egypt, whatever. You can do that. But do you know what happens? Debbie, do you know what the American government does if they get a form with somebody that checked other and wrote in Palestine? Do you know what they do? They don't burn it. They don't give it to the FBI. They put it with the white people. Did you know that? According to the United States government, we're white. Debbie? According to the United States government, we are you. Right? But we're not. We're not white. We deserve our own box. Don't you think we should get our own box, Houston? We deserve our own box. We're not white. I want to start a rally right here today at the Hilton Post Oak in Houston, Texas. We're not white. We deserve our own box because I grew up with white people. We're different. We are way, way different than white people. I learned a lot about white people. I learned a lot about them. For instance, did you know that if you go to your white friend's house and his mom asks you if you're hungry, if you say no, they actually don't bring you anything to eat. Did you know that? And they start eating around you. Well, you said you weren't hungry. They start eating. Did you know, for instance, that if white people go to the grocery store, they come home, they put away their groceries, then they take their bags and they throw them away? Not in my house. In my house, there's a bag full of bags. It goes in the little space between the refrigerator and the wall. My mom just stuffs it in there. We're different. We do business different than white people. Really, I think a white guy walks into a store, he gets $1 off something, he thinks that he got a deal. Doesn't work like that for us. I've seen my dad walk into a store before. How much you want for that? $20? $5. I'll give you $5. Fine. We don't think anybody should be able to make money. I remember when I was a kid, I went to go get a shirt for school. I said, Baba, I like this shirt. He said, how much? Debbie, this is also how much? How much? Where? Dancing. You got it? Okay. He said, how much? I said, $20. And then I have the dad. Does anybody else have the Arab dad who feels the fabric on the shirt? My dad feels the fabric like he's a fabric expert. He feels the fabric. This is very good fabric. I said, you grew up in a refugee camp, okay? You don't know what fabric feels like. Then he says the same thing every Arab dad says. Do you know how much it cost them to make this shirt? $3, maybe $4. So let's give them $5. I said, Baba, this is Macy's. You can't do that here. We're different. I get asked to go do a lot of things. I got asked about a year ago to go MC an auction for a bunch of Arabs in New York. An auction. How are you going to explain the concept of this to Arabs? They're never going to understand this ever, and they've been bargaining their whole life. They're never going to understand the auction. Like, wait, we are fighting to make the price higher? Like, they don't understand. I got on stage, I said, okay, this item starts out at $1,000. Some Arab said, 400. I said, no. That's not the way it works. We're just different. We're different. Our moms are different. Our moms. Where are you? Oh my God. Oh gosh. They just, they exaggerate a little bit, you know? Like, haven't you ever met this Arab mom before? Khaltu, what does your son do? Oh, my son. My son is a doctor. Oh, okay, great. What's his specialty? Well, he does not really have a specialty yet. Oh, okay. Where does he go to medical school? He does not really go to medical school yet. He's 7 years old, but he's gonna be a doctor. They're terrible. And we have to grow up with these people. It's hard. Nobody understands how hard it is. They can't speak English. Where are they? In Michigan, we call them boaters. What do you guys call them here? Fob? Is that the word they use? Fob? Fresh off the boat? Do they understand what that means? Do you understand what that means when we call you that? Where are you? I see a bunch of them here. See more back there. Yeah? You've been in this country for a long time. You need to learn English. It's embarrassing to us. Debbie, I don't know if you know this. In Arabic, there's no P. Pa. Pa. We can't say it. We are the Palestinian people. We like to drink Pepsi and eat pizza. No pepperoni, haram pepperoni. It's the way we talk. And some of you have been in this country for a long time. You need to stop. It's embarrassing. You can't say salt and pepper forever. It's too much. I know English is a hard language, but still, you can't. You have to stop. Please, for us. You can't walk around saying, America is the best country in the world. World is not a word. That's not how you say it. World. God, you have to walk around on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's not how you say it. Wednesday. I know English is a hard language. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you, I do. English is a hard language. When my dad first came to this country, he came from Jordan to come get his PhD in California. And he came, him and another guy named Abdullah. And he was walking around campus the first week in California. It's like 1972. He's wearing a suit, walking around. His English is not very good. And all the student organizations had put out tables to give information. And so he walks up to this one table and has a big sign on it that says, "Gay student group party tonight." So he looked at these words. He knows student, I'm student. Group. Party. Tonight. But this word gay, he'd never seen it before in his life. So he went home and he opened up his dictionary. Now, for those of you who know, the real meaning of the word gay in English is happy. He saw this. Happy students. I'm happy. He said to his friend Abdullah, do you want to go to this gay party with me? Abdullah said, sure, let's go. So my dad and Abdullah walked into the party. Probably holding hands, because that's how Arab guys walk. Anyway. And there was gay men and gay women, so my dad walks in and he sees all the men are dancing with the men and all the women are dancing with the women. And he looks at Abdullah and he says, Abdullah, what is this? Look, they are more strict here than they are back home. We're just a different group of people. I always said the worst job for an Arab, if he comes to this country, would be the person who has to give you a confirmation number on the phone. Because they can't speak English. They make everything political for no reason. It would be the worst. Are you ready for your confirmation number? Okay, it's gonna be A as in apple. B like Peter. No, B like B as in Peter, not B as in boy, B as in Peter, yeah. I said B, not B, yeah, B. Then the letter O as in the occupation of the Palestinian people. Then the letter H. H like H. H like hairy, H, yeah, H. Finally, the number 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. I know, this is for the Arabs in the room who speak Arabic. I know a sheikh in Michigan. He can't say 6. He always says 6. But he doesn't say it because it sounds too much like. So when he counts, it's very funny. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, astaghfirullah, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just different. And I'll tell you what, I get weird reactions from people when I tell them that I'm Palestinian. It's very weird. I bring out like the racists in people. I don't mean to do it. But like a few years ago, I was in the airport and the flight was delayed, not because of me. But the flight was delayed. And you know, you're in the airport, you're all alone, so I went into the airport restaurant to have a drink, like a Coca-Cola. Don't worry, Khalto, just a Coca-Cola. Went to go have a Coca-Cola in the airport restaurant, and there was this white guy sitting next to me. And he said to me, what's your name? And I said, Amer. And he said, wow! That is a very interesting name. where are you from? I said, I'm from Michigan. He said, no, where are you from? That's what white people say when they want to find out where you're really from. He said, where are you from? I said, oh, from, sorry, from. I'm from Palestine. I'm Palestinian. He said, really? I said, yeah. He said, really? I said, yeah, I didn't say I was a unicorn, you know. I said, I'm Palestinian. We're real. And then he looked over both of his shoulders and he looked back at me and he said, that's really cool. I said, why? He said, because I hate Jewish people too. And I said, hey man, that's racist, okay? It's racist of you to think that I'm a racist because of my race. That's racist. And he said, fine, you don't hate all Jewish people? I said, no, I'm just saying that's racist. No, we don't hate Jewish people. Are there any Jewish people here tonight? It's okay. Raise your hand. Are you scared now? Are there? Yes? Oh, habla? No, you're not habla. No? Okay. We need to send a message. Debbie, send a message. I know you're not Jewish, but send a message to the white people. Do you guys have like an email list or something? I need you to send a message to all of the white people. We do not hate Jews. We don't hate Jews. We just have a very complicated relationship with the Jewish people. It's just weird. But we don't hate them. We don't hate them. We're just schizophrenic. We don't know how to answer the one question that they ask us all the time. Do you hate Jews? Of course not. Do you like them? Of course not. Like, we don't know what to say. We're really the same people. Hairy, big nose, crazy mom. It's the same thing. The only difference is they are chosen by God. And we are chosen by the FBI. That's it. That's the only difference. No, we don't hate anybody. We like to have fun. But everybody hates us. I'm a good Arab. I watch the news. I watch the news all the time. For those of you who don't know, for Arabs, watching the news is like a social activity for us. We make popcorn, we call our friends, and we watch the news. Because we are on it all the time. We are always on the news. And I'm a good Arab. I watch the news all the time. And I was watching the news a few years ago. Remember a few years ago when that congresswoman got shot in Arizona? Do you remember? You remember? I was watching the news that day and CNN said a congresswoman got shot in Arizona. And I did what every Arab was doing that day. Please don't be Arab. Please do not be Arab. And it wasn't. It was a crazy white guy. But before they said it was a crazy white guy, they put out 2 news reports that let me know for sure that it was not an Arab. First of all, they said the suspect was still alive. That's not the way we operate. But let me tell you how I really knew. How I really knew is they said when they arrested the suspect, he was not talking. See, we don't know how to not talk. We will tell you why we did it while you're arresting us. It's because the Israelis are occupying. Like, we tell you immediately. And then a few months later, there was that stuff in Norway. Remember in Norway when the guy blew up the building in Norway and it killed like 70 people on the island? And he blew up a whole building in downtown Oslo. And I was watching the news that day. Oh. Please don't be Arab or Pakistani or Mexican or anything that looks like us. And it wasn't. It was a crazy white guy. But right before they said it was a crazy white guy, CNN came on the news and they said, this explosion does not seem to have any signs of Islamic radicalism. And I listened to that. And I said, how does an explosion have a sign of Islamic radicalism? Does it blow up different? Does it make a different sound? Does it make a crescent in the sky? Does it smell like garlic? How the hell does an explosion? But that's the way it works for us. that even when we didn't do it, they got to get on the news and say that we didn't do it. That's the way it works for us. Now, sometimes we do it, you know, whatever. And when we do, it's different. When white guys do it, and they do it all the time, they use different words for them. They use different words for them, and they use different words for us. Now, sometimes on the news, they'll come out like 3 hours later, and there's a mass shooting, and they'll say, we've decided that this is not terrorism. Do you know what that means, Debbie? Do you know what that means? Do you know what not terrorism means? Right away, do you know what that means? That means not us. Because when it's us, it's different. They give you videos of the countries in the Middle East. They put that map on the floor on CNN, and they start walking around on the map. And when it's white guys, they have used different words for them. Disturbed, deranged, delusional. All these nice D words they use for white people. And for us, it's different. Now, what really pisses me off is that whenever a white guy does do something crazy, which happens all the time, all my Arab friends, all my Muslim friends, they get on Facebook right away. And they put up a picture of the crazy white guy. And they say, what if he was an Arab? Don't you guys do that? What if he was an Arab? Wouldn't they call him a terrorist? Shouldn't we call him a terrorist too? Is that what you guys think? Is that what you think? You think they should call the crazy white guy a terrorist? Is that what you think? See, I don't want them to call the crazy white guy a terrorist. I just want them to call us disturbed. Why can't we be disturbed and deranged and delusional just like everybody else? But we can't because we're different. And growing up around all white kids was weird for me. Because when I was in the 7th grade, I decided I was going to run for class president. And my dad was so excited. He's like, my son will be president. And we made 500 photocopies of my face, and we put them around the school. There was only 100 people in the school, but you know, whatever. And we put them all around the school. And that night, America bombed Iraq. And so I came into school the next day and somebody wrote on my face, "Go home, terrorist." And I was really upset. So I took that sign and I showed it to my favorite teacher. And I said, "What are you going to do about this?" And she looked at the sign, and she looked at me, and she looked at the sign. And she said, "We're not going to do anything." And that's when I realized that we are different in a different way than everyone else is different. Because if I was Mexican, there would have been a seminar the next day in my school. If I was black, Al Sharpton would have been at my school the next day. But I was Arab, so it was okay. And I was really upset for like a year. And then out came a movie called Aladdin. You guys remember Aladdin? Did you watch Aladdin? The Disney movie, Aladdin? I was so happy when this movie came out. I said, this is awesome. They're making a movie about us. This is amazing. And then I watched it and I got confused. Because there was Jafar. Remember Jafar? Jafar, we call him in our house, Jafar. Tall, skinny, brown skin, big nose, beard, turban, accent. He's going to take over the world. Sound familiar? He was Osama bin Laden before Osama bin Laden was Osama bin Laden. And he was an Arab. And then there was Aladdin. Remember Aladdin? So cute. Didn't even wear a shirt. He wore a vest. He wore really cool pants, cool shoes. He had great hair. Wore this cute little hat. He didn't have an accent. He spoke like me and you. He had a cute little girlfriend. And he could sing, "I will show you the world." Remember him? And he was an Arab too. And so I was confused. I was like, who am I? Am I Jafar? Or am I Aladdin? I know I live with Jafar. I know my dad's Jafar. But who am I? And see, that's what happens to me. I get confused, like, because we don't have a box. I get confused. You know how they say if you enter a situation, you get an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other shoulder, right? That's not what happens to me. I'm confused. I get like a really, really Arab guy on one shoulder and a really, really white guy on the other shoulder. And they fight. Like if I have people at my house and they're staying way too long. The white guy says, you should tell them to leave. And the Arab guy says, no, you tell them they can stay as long as they want. They can sleep over for 3 days. It's fine, no problem. Or like if I'm out to dinner and the bill comes, the Arab guy jumps up right away. Pay it! Pay it! Pay the whole thing. Show them how much money you have. Pay cash. And the white guy says, just had a hamburger. Or if like a really tall, beautiful blonde woman walks by. The white guy says, you should go after her. And the Arab guy says, yeah, I agree, you should go. We're not that different. And I go to Palestine all the time. Clap if you've ever been to Palestine before. Palestine, I love it. It's just different, it's different than here. There's so much history though. It's different. Don't ever ask for directions in Palestine. Everything in the whole country, Dughri. I was in Palestine for a month. The whole country, Dughri. We went to Ramallah. I said, how do we get to the hotel? They said, Dughri. I said, how do we get to the theater? They said, oh, the theater, very easy, Dughri. I said, that's not Dughri. Are you talking on the phone? Seriously? It's okay, we'll wait for you. Go ahead. Look at him, he thinks nobody can see him because he has his hand over his phone like this. It's okay, let us know when you're done. Took 1 second. Tell her you'll be home soon. It's an Arab guy at 11 a.m. It's either his wife or his mom. Well, it's either his wife or his cousin, but that could be the same person, but whatever. Really? You can't say, I need to get off the phone?
It's an overseas code.
Yeah, right. It's not overseas. They're asleep. Nice try, though. We are different. Palestine, the kids are different. The kids in Palestine are smart. Way smarter than American kids. American kids, even our Arab American kids, they're dumb. It's not me. It's not me. Listen. It's not. What's your name? Jamal. Listen, Jamal. It's not me. The United Nations did a study. They found out that American kids rank last in everything. Reading, math, science, they're the dumbest kids in the whole world. I know why it is. I know why it is. Because when I was growing up, we weren't dumb. We didn't used to be dumb. When I was growing up, we graduated once, 12th grade. That's it. Now you guys graduate from kindergarten, 3rd grade, 5th grade, 8th grade. All these graduations for nothing. You didn't achieve anything, Jamal. Wait till you graduate from 12th grade. We have a game show. Do you know we have a game show in this country called Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? That's a game show. And if you win, they give you $1 million. And guess what? Nobody ever wins. In America, if you're smarter than a 5th grader, they give you $1 million. In Germany, you go to the 6th grade. That's it. There's no prize. In Palestine, the kids are smart, but they're too smart. It's like weird smart. Because politics dominates their lives every day. It's weird. I was in Jerusalem a couple years ago and I was walking around and this little 6-year-old Palestinian kid walks up to me and he goes, do you think that President Obama will win the re-election? I said, what the hell are you talking about? Go play with a ball. This guy's still on the phone. I can hear you. Go. I can hear you. Ammo. What's his name? You don't know his name? You're sitting next to him? Does anybody know that? Is he supposed to be here? It's been 10 minutes. Here, take a picture of me with him. Go on, let's take a picture. Go ahead, go on. Yeah, اسمع, ta. Ish. No, it's okay. Here, take a picture. No, I don't want to talk to him. He's messing up my show. Oops. I love Arabs, but I hate them. No, not him. He's a nice guy. But Arabs have this disease. Do you know Arabs have a disease? They think they can do whatever you're doing better than you can do it. This is... whenever I do a show, an Arab guy always walks up to me after the show. He goes, Amer, very funny, great show. I have a joke for you. And they always give me a joke. And they always say the same thing. You can use it. You can have it. I don't want your joke. And we live in this weird... Now, Palestine has so much history. Is there anybody, any of the, like, Palestinian Ammos here? You know Palestinian villages very well? Who knows them very well? Farouk. Pretty good? Palestine has a lot of history. God chose Palestine. We have so much history. And I was doing a show about 2 years ago in this little village next to Ramallah called Taibi. Has anybody ever heard of this village? Taibi. Are you from there? Taibi. Now Taibi in Arabic means like nice or good or whatever. So I did a show in Taibi. After the show, a guy comes up to me and he says, Amer, great show, very funny. I said, oh, thank you. Thank you for having me in Taibi. He said, we love Taibi. Do you know why we call our village Taibi? I said, no, why? He said, a long time ago, Salah ad-Din came here and he said, these people are very Taibi. And I said, oh, cool. Now, as it turns out, in Palestine, there's at least 2 places called Taibi. So the next week I did a show in Haifa. And after the show, a guy comes up to me and he says, Amer, great show. I said, oh, thank you very much. Are you from Haifa? He said, no, I'm not from Haifa. I am from Taibi. I said, oh, I was just in Taibi last week next to Ramallah. He said, no, I am not from that Taibi. I am from the real Taibi. I said, why is your Taibi the real Taibi? He said, do you know why we call our village Taibi? I said, no, why? He said, a long time ago, Salah ad-Din came here. And he said, these people are very Taibi. And then I was going around Palestine all the time. And there's weird villages. I'm from Nazareth. Nasra. Is there anybody here from Nasra? I'm from Nazareth, yes, like Jesus. I'm from Nazareth. That's what I tell white people, like Jesus. They think Jesus was blonde and blue eyes. Jesus is not blonde and blue eyes. Jesus looked like Farouk, actually. Jesus looked just like Farouk. That's what you need to tell the white people, Farouk. You look like Jesus. And I was coming one time from Nazareth down to Jerusalem. And when you pass this town called Afuli first. I don't know if you ever heard of this town. And then you pass villages with very weird names. There's a village called Bayada. You have to understand Arabic. Bayada. Then there's a village called Ara. Can anybody confirm this for me? Yes. Then a village called Arara. Yes, say yes when I'm telling the truth. Bayada, Arara, Ara. And then after Bayada and Arara and Ara, there's a village called El Ariyan. Then after Bayada and Ara and Ariyan, there's a village up on a hill called Musmus. It's true, right? Right, Amma? Musmus. This is embarrassing. You can't have this in America. Where are you from? I'm from Suck on the hill over here. Suck. After you pass Bayada and Ara and Naked, there's Suck on the hill. This is embarrassing, man. We Palestinians, we are trying to get the world to understand the Palestinian question. We can't have a village called Musmus. It's embarrassing. We're trying to get the world to we're trying to get into the United Nations. We cannot have a village called Suck. We can't put that on the application. It's embarrassing. I couldn't take it anymore. One day, I got in my car, I drove to Musmus, I went right to the middle of the village, and I found the old guy, and I grabbed him, and I said, Why? Why do you call this place Musmus? He said, a long time ago, Salah ad-Din came here. Do you understand that joke? You know, what's your name? Julio? Do you understand the Musmus joke, Julio? Julio. I love Julio. Arabs. We're good liars, right? Oh my God. We're the best. Amazing. We Arabs will lie to each other, and everybody knows we're lying to each other, and we do it. And we ask questions that nobody would ever ask. We say things that nobody would ever say. If you haven't seen your aunts for a couple years, oh, Amer, we missed you. You're fat. First thing. We ask questions that nobody would ever ask. Wow, you got the new house? Wow, mabruk, mabruk. How much you pay for it? Tell me how much you make a year before taxes. It's fine, just tell me. I won't tell anybody. And then we have my favorite one. This is my favorite. What do you say when somebody enters your house? Ahlan wa sahlan, right? Ahlan wa sahlan. Doesn't it feel good? Let's all say it together. 1, 2, 3. Ahlan. It feels wonderful. Ahlan wa sahlan. Actually, for the first 3 hours that people are in my house, my dad, he doesn't say anything except Ahlan wa sahlan. While the food is good, Ahlan wa sahlan. Your kids are beautiful, Ahlan wa sahlan. And then there comes a time around like 10:30, 11 o'clock, where all the men are sitting in the salon. Do you have this room in your house? Salon. This is the room that nobody is allowed to go to ever. It gets vacuumed every day for no reason. It's covered in plastic. And all the men are sitting in the salon, and they've already done everything. They ate dinner, they had coffee, they had tea, they had bizr, they had baklawa. They talked about politics and religion and the Jews and the Palestinians. That's it. There's nothing more to talk about. And they're all sitting there silent. And my dad leans back, and he leans forward, and he says, Ahlan wa sahlan. This Ahlan wa sahlan does not mean welcome to my house. It means let's wrap this up. We lie, and then the bigger lie, because the first guy gets next to my dad and he says, you know, Amer, or Abu Amer, it's late, we should go. And no! Sit down, stay! And they start threatening each other, don't leave! If you leave, I will never come to your house ever again. Sit down! Everybody leaves, everybody gets their own exit, that's why it takes 5 hours. Finally, everybody's gone. My dad walks into the kitchen, he looks at my mom and he says, طولوا طولوا. They stayed long. They have no manners, these people. Can I see that guitar? Now, thanks. Yeah. Now, I love music. I love Arabic music especially. When I was a kid, when I was like a good little white kid, I used to play the trombone. You know the trombone? Even the fobs, you know the trombone? And can you bring it over here, Julio, and like point it like right here, like from the side like that? Thanks. Julio. And when I was like 15, my dad went to Jordan, and I told him to buy me a oud, like here. I told him to buy me a oud, and so now I've been playing the oud for like 20 years, and I give classes on it, and I really like music. So can we play a couple songs together? Is that okay? Okay. Is this on? Okay, great. So we'll just do one song. My favorite singer is Abdul Halim. You guys like Abdul Halim? Yeah. Yes. So my favorite song is Sawah. You know Sawah? Now the problem is, because we grew up weird, we tried to be white. The songs come out a little different with me, okay? But we'll sing it together anyway, okay? turn this up a little bit? Tourist. And walking in the land tourist. Just turn down the low on this mic. Turn down the low on this mic. Tourist and walking in the land tourist, and the step between me and my lover is far. A long walk and any time lonely, and the night got closer, and the day went home, 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 home. Tourist and walking in the land tourist, and the step between me and my lover is far. A long walk and any time lonely, and the night got closer, and the day went home. If my lover found you, please tell him that I said hi. If my lover found you, please tell him that I said hi. طمنوني very good. عاملة الغربة فيك طمنوني أسمراني عاملة الغربة فيك تورست وأنا ماشي ليالي تورست وأنا داري بحالي تورست من الفرقة يا غالي تورست ايه اللي جرالي and the years والسنين and the years وانا دايب شو حنين عايز اعرف بس الطريق from where if my lover found you, please tell him that I said hi together. If my lover, come on Jamal, you, please tell him that I said hi. طمنوني الأسمراني عاملة الغربة فيك. I love it. Shukran. Do you know any Arabic, Khalil? A little bit? Like what do you, oh, only you don't know bad words, do you? Okay, good. What do you know?
Marhaba
Oh, very good. What else?
and shukran.
That's it? Do you know how in Spanish they say, ole? Yalla, you got it from us, bro. I wrote a book called Being Palestinian Makes Me Smile. I brought copies with me that I'm going to be here right after the show. If you'd like to get one, please do. I'll sign them. I'll make them out to you because I'm a Palestinian comedian in America and I talk about Palestine, so they're never putting me on TV, ever, ever, ever. So if you want to come support a they're $20, not 5. 20. 4. Do you know how much it cost him? Okay, before I go, let me tell you a couple last stories and then I'll leave. Thank you so much for the PACC for having me here today. I really appreciate it. I'll come to Houston as much as I can. And I love my Palestinian people. There's nothing makes me happier than being in a room full of Palestinians. It's the best feeling in the world. I love it. And I go to Palestine. Oh, hello. Is he Palestinian? No, I don't want him. No. What's his name? Rafi. Rafi? That's a good Palestinian name. Rafi. Where'd you get this from? How old is he? How old is he? 3? Okay. Hi, Rafi. Has he been to Palestine? Nice. Rafi. That's a Palestinian name? Not really. Go to Palestine, see what their names are. Zaher, Nidal, Kifah, Irtifah. Jihad, Hurriya, Arabiya, Palestine. I was like, we get it, okay. Too much. And so I go to Palestine all the time. Now, I fly into Tel Aviv airport. Now, for those of you who don't know, when we Palestinians get to Tel Aviv airport, there is like a VIP room for us, and we can stay there as long as we want. So I was in the VIP. Now that we're all family here in Houston, can I share a secret with you? Can I share a secret with you? My parents are both Palestinian. They're both from Nazareth, both of them. And my dad is Christian, and my mom is Muslim. Yeah. This is called the haram combination in Arabic. And this is the result. This is what you get. Can never marry anybody. And so last time I was there, I was in the VIP room for 8 hours. And finally it was my turn to talk to the soldier. And he sat me down and he said, "What is your father's name?" And I said, George. George, that's my father's name, George. He said, "What is your father's name?" I said, Elias. Now that's like 2 super Christian names. Doesn't get more Christian than George Elias. Then he said, "What is your mother's name?" I said, Anan. That's my mom's name, Anan. He said, "What is your mother's father's name?" I said, "Oh shit. Muhammad." And he got confused. He said, "So are you Christian or Muslim?" I said, whatever. He said, "No, I need to put it in the computer. Are you Christian or Muslim?" I said, "Look, man, in my house, we celebrated everything. Christmas, Eid, Easter, Eid again. We even celebrated Rosh Hashanah. We didn't give a shit. We celebrated everything." I said, "Put Jew in your computer. Isn't that better for me? Put Jew in your computer. I don't have to deal with this anymore." And he started laughing, and I started laughing. And he said to me, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Nazareth, like Jesus." And I said to him, "Where are you from?" He said, "I'm from Tel Aviv." I said, No, where are you from? And then he put me back in the VIP room. And I was there for another 12 hours. He went home, he took a shower, he had dinner, he slept, he came back. And he sat me down again, and I said, "Okay, as long as he doesn't do anything crazy, I'm gonna be a good boy. I just wanna go in and see my country. I'm gonna be nice." And he sat me down, he said, "Are you ready now, funny guy?" I said, Yes, I'm ready." And then he said, "For how long will you be staying in Israel?" And he said it like that, Israel. And I had been in the VIP room for like 24 hours. It was too much. I was ready to demonstrate. I was in a Palestinian mood. I'm ready to start demonstrating right here. And he said, Israel. And I couldn't take it anymore. I lost it. I said, "You know what? That's it. I'm not going to Israel. I'm going to Palestine." He said, "There is no Palestine." I said, "Yes, there is. Maybe you haven't heard our story." In 1948. Then he looked over his shoulder and there was a big map on the wall. And he said, look at the map. There is no Palestine on the map. And I said, oh. I said, but it used to be there, right? And he said, yeah. And I said, and now it's just gone? He said, yeah. I said, we should call the news then. Maybe we should call the news. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. See you again soon. Thank you so much.